Have you ever noticed something almost impossible to explain? Sunday morning feels light. You wake up a little later, the coffee tastes better. Time feels slower. Even the air seems different. But then, something strange begins to happen, not suddenly, quietly. You check the time more often. You stop enjoying the evening as much. The weekend suddenly feels like it's slipping through your fingers. By the time you finally go to bed, it's as if Monday has already arrived. How can tomorrow ruin today? You're sitting on the couch, scrolling through your phone without really paying attention. Without realizing it, you're already thinking about tomorrow, then that meeting, that unfinished project. Your brain is doing something remarkable. It's reacting not to reality, but to prediction. This is one of the brain's oldest and most useful skills, constantly forecasting what's coming so it can prepare you in advance. But the same system that protects you can also trap you. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between a real threat and an imagined one. If it predicts tomorrow will be stressful, your body can start bracing for that stress today, hours before Monday has even arrived. Researchers and psychologists commonly describe this as the Sunday Scaries, a wave of anticipatory anxiety before the working week begins. Why is your brain so committed to protecting you from a day that's still nearly 24 hours away? Your brain isn't built to make you happy. It's built to keep you alive. For most of human history, survival depended on anticipating danger before it arrived, sensing the storm, the predator, the coming winter. Only the predators have changed. They're no longer wolves or famine. They're deadlines, performance reviews, exams, bills. That's why Sunday evening feels emotionally different from Saturday evening, even though nothing outside has actually changed. And here's the irony: the more responsibility you carry, the more your brain has to predict, and the more chances it has to imagine things going wrong, which means the people who care the most about doing well are often the ones who struggle most on Sunday nights. Not because they're weak, because their minds are trying a little too early to protect them. But if this were only about stress, retirees wouldn't feel it. Students on holiday wouldn't feel it. People who genuinely love their jobs would wake up excited every Monday. Many don't, which means stress isn't the whole story. There's another force at work, one that quietly shapes how every person experiences freedom, time, and control. Monday doesn't begin on Monday. It begins in your mind long before any alarm rings. Your brain predicts tomorrow's stress, and your body reacts to it today. Plenty of people work jobs they enjoy. Plenty of students like learning. So why does Monday still feel different? Imagine two identical cups of coffee, same beans, same temperature, same taste. The only difference, the first one you chose. The second, someone ordered you to drink. The first one usually tastes better, not because it's different, but because you decided. Humans have a deep psychological need for one simple feeling: control. Not total control over life. Just enough to feel this is my choice. Think about your weekend. You choose when to wake up, whether to stay in bed, go outside, see friends, or do nothing at all. Every small decision quietly tells your brain, I'm in charge of my time. Then Monday arrives. The alarm decides when you wake. The calendar decides where you'll be. Meetings decide your afternoon. Piece by piece, small freedoms disappear. And your brain notices even when you don't. Psychologists have spent decades studying what actually motivates people. Not money, not status, not even happiness. The strongest, most consistent factor is something called autonomy. The sense that your actions are self-directed. This is the core idea behind self-determination theory, developed by psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan. When autonomy rises, people become more engaged and more satisfied. When it disappears, motivation fades, and even enjoyable tasks start to feel like obligations. Obligation is exactly what Monday represents. It's part of why a holiday feels so different even though you're still waking up, eating, getting dressed. Almost everything happens because you chose it. Monday quietly reverses that. Without saying a word, it tells your brain your time no longer belongs entirely to you. Your brain doesn't like that. Not because it's lazy, but because losing freedom genuinely registers as a small threat, a thought experiment. One person spends 8 hours painting. Another spends 8 hours filling in spreadsheets. Who's more exhausted? Now imagine the painter is forced to paint the exact same picture, the exact same way, under strict supervision, for 8 hours straight. Suddenly, painting doesn't feel enjoyable at all. The activity didn't change. The freedom did. Your brain doesn't just evaluate what you're doing. It evaluates whether you're choosing to do it. Many people don't actually hate Mondays. They hate what Mondays symbolize, a temporary loss of ownership over their own life. If Monday is really about work, why do children dread it too? They don't have jobs, bills, or meetings. This pattern starts long before adulthood. As children, Monday teaches us something simple and lasting. The fun is over. Rules are back. Someone else decides what happens next. Year after year, that association hardens. Weekend equals freedom. Monday equals obligation. By adulthood, it's almost automatic, which means when Monday arrives, your brain isn't just reacting to this Monday. It's reacting to thousands of Mondays before it. What if part of why we hate Mondays isn't biological at all? What if we've been taught to hate them? The Sunday Scaries, a brain that predicts tomorrow before it arrives. The loss of autonomy, years of cultural conditioning. Put it all together and one question remains. If Monday isn't really the enemy, what is? The answer has nothing to do with the calendar, and everything to do with the life we've quietly settled for. Imagine blaming your bathroom mirror because you look tired. The mirror didn't exhaust you, it just showed you what was already there. Monday works the same way. It doesn't create your stress, it reveals it. It doesn't steal your happiness. It exposes how much of your happiness has come to depend on 2 short days called the weekend. If one ordinary day can flip your entire emotional state, what does that say about the other 6? Here's one of the strangest paradoxes of modern life. We've built machines that save us time. Computers, cars, AI that can do in seconds what once took days. And yet millions of people still wake up every Monday feeling like life is starting all over again. Heavier than it should be. Interestingly, parts of Europe have started questioning this directly. Iceland's large-scale 4-day workweek trials, Belgium's right to compress a full workweek into 4 days, and Spain's paid pilot programs all point to the same discovery. Cutting hours doesn't just reduce fatigue, it restores something people had quietly lost, a sense of ownership over their own week. The problem was never really about the number of working hours. It's about how much of the week still feels like it belongs to you. Many people aren't exhausted because they're doing too much. They're exhausted because they rarely feel present in what they're doing. Ask yourself, when was the last time you hated a Monday because it was Monday? Not because of a difficult colleague, not because you were overwhelmed, not because you were exhausted, just the day itself. Probably never. Monday has no personality, no intention. It's 24 hours. The same length as Saturday, the same sunrise, the same sunset. The difference lives inside us. Our expectations, our routines, our culture, our relationship with time. And maybe that's the most freeing realization of all. If your experience of Monday is built by your mind can also rebuild it. Awareness doesn't erase stress, but it changes your relationship with it. Maybe the real tragedy isn't that people hate Mondays. The real tragedy is how many of us spend 5 days waiting for 2 days to begin. We only get one life. And yet many of us have quietly divided it into days worth living and days that simply need to be survived. Maybe that's why Monday feels heavy. Not because Monday carries the weight, because we do. Maybe the real question was never why does everyone hate Mondays? It's what kind of life makes one ordinary day feel like an enemy? Because once you can answer that, you stop fighting Monday and start understanding yourself. If this changed the way you see something as ordinary as Monday, that's exactly the point of this channel. Not handing you new days, but helping you see the familiar ones through a different mind. The biggest mysteries aren't always hidden in distant galaxies. Sometimes they're hidden inside the routine we repeat every single week without ever stopping to ask why. If this resonated, subscribe. Next week we ask why we regret the things we never said, not the things we did. See you in the next question. I make these videos alone, at strange hours, hoping they reach someone who needs them. Every single time you watch until the end, that hope becomes real. So, thank you. Not as a formality, as something I actually mean.